Bold plans. Joe Biden says China's goal to own America before 2035. VT Post story. President Biden, during a speech to American service members in Virginia, said Chinese leadership thinks it will own America before 2035. We're in a battle between democracies and autocracies. Biden told troops at Joint Base Langley, Eustis, in Hampton, the more complicated the world becomes, the more difficult it is for democracies to come together and reach consensus. I've spent more time with President Xi of China than any other world leader has, for 24 hours of private meetings with him, with just an interpreter, 17,000 miles traveling with him in China and here. He firmly believes that China, before the year 2035, is going to own America because autocracies can make quick decisions. Biden said the U.S.'s political landscape has never been more divided, and that appears to be among the reasons Biden believes China could think it has an ownership opening.
Got a real problem with this. And he also brags about the fact that no leader from America spent more time with the Chinese president, that they traveled together for 17,000 miles and then they were together for 24 hours with just an interpreter, and they're discussing these things. Why are you telling us this in the fashion that you are? Why aren't you more like, China thinks they're going to own us, but I'm telling you right now, I will not let that happen. It's not going to happen on my watch. I didn't get that from him saying this. China is clearly has a strategy to do this. Part of the problem that there's this division that he talks about is because of Biden. And I would just like to hear something from him saying, yeah, we know what you're up to, and we've got a counter plan to make sure that doesn't happen. Like, he just made it seem like fact, as opposed to, this is a huge problem if China thinks they're going to own us and we're not going to allow it to happen. How come this isn't a huge issue for him? A little too cavalier for me.
I think it is. I think you're just reading the headline and just making an assumption. He's basically saying we need to do something about China. I think the biggest fear when Biden came into office was people saying, well, he's not going to be tough on China, and that was all Trump. Biden is basically saying, look, I'm going to pick up where Trump left off, okay? What's my favorite show that I watch every Sunday? It's Fareed Zakaria. And he's a very smart guy. And he basically said, in a world where Americans are so divided, the one issue that we all agree on is the threat that China is imposing. Okay? And he went off for 5 minutes on the threat that China is imposing. And this guy is a liberal, very smart guy on CNN, and just went off on the fears of China. So it's very easy to say, well, the right is doing everything against China and the left isn't. That's just not true, okay? Plus, look at what's going on in the world. You said the biggest threat to China potentially if the world coalesces and actually fights China. So you have India, you have Australia, you have Japan, you have all the countries in the South China Sea that are basically saying, oh, the EU, keep in mind, enough's enough. Let's get to the bottom what the hell China's up to. So I think in theory, saying that Biden isn't doing enough or the world isn't doing enough is great to say. It's great for headlines, but I think in actuality, people understand that China is a major threat.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy that. And here's how I see that. Is it fair to say that Hunter has had some dealings with China?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that? It's public right now. Yeah, he writes about it. People talk about it. It's public. It's nothing that anybody is fighting, that there's not any issues there. Is it fair to say that Hunter had some bad habits and addictions?
Yes.
That maybe when you're addicted to a drug, you tend to make stupid decisions. Is that a fair assessment? When you're on crack,
read his book, right?
You make bad decisions. He talks about it openly. Do you agree with that? When you're on drugs, you make bad decisions.
Yeah, but okay, where are you going with
I'm
the
going to go
Hunter
with
thing,
this.
though?
Stay with me here. Is it fair to say that if you're dealing with folks in China and you like drugs and the enemy knows what you like, they know how to persuade you, and then they know how to get information from you, which means in a situation like this, do you think China has intel on Hunter that we don't know about? Do you? I don't know. I think for me, if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say 10%. The answer is yes. I think China has some stuff on Hunter, which means any conversation they have with Joe, it's going to be based around Hunter. The whole story with J. Edgar Hoover, when the mob met with them and they said, hey, just so you know, the next time you act tough, here's what we have of you. I have a feeling there was a moment where Xi said, let's walk out over here and I want to talk to you by ourselves. Here's what we have. Moving forward, here's what your script is. This is what you can say, and here's what you can't say. And if you don't, it's not going to be nice for you. I just want you to know this. If he didn't say it, somebody may have told him that. Maybe completely wrong. I may be completely over-speculating. That's why I said 10% credence I'm giving to this. So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.